DBS community, welcome back to another video here with Kyle Chris, and today we're going to be going over a updated version of the Goku Spaceship deck, or Goku GT deck, Saiyan GT, Spaceship, whatever you guys want to call it. But we're going to be making some videos here. We're just going over kind of an upgraded deck profile list of what these new decks can potentially look like with the Dash Pack cards, because they do actually end up changing quite a bit. And we'll go over each Dash Pack card once we kind of get to that point. So if you guys enjoy the videos, if you guys do, always make sure you like and subscribe. I do love all the support. We will be starting to stream here pretty soon. Actually, might be by the time this video comes out, I might be streaming. I think we're going to be doing Twitch. And we're going to start off with some other type of card games like Legends of Runeterra, as well as Duelist, maybe some other ones as well. Just kind of getting prepped and prepared for when the Dragon Ball digital card game comes out, because we will be streaming and making a ton of content for that game. So if you guys don't know, this Spaceship deck essentially revolves around this particular unison here, which is your Spaceship Vessel of Hope. The idea is this: you put a ton of Saiyans from your hand underneath this card, and then you have the ability of playing them out. Now, there are a few new cards that have been added, which allow this deck to potentially thrive in the next set. And honestly, this deck, even when U7 was at full power, this deck was still very good. It's almost too fair. It's a very fair deck, but this deck just gives out so much value. And it's terrifying to play against sometimes, because you're just getting swarmed with so many battle cards. And everything costs 1, and everything replaces itself, which is just very good when it comes to deck building wise, because you just have a deck that you're going to constantly be drawing cards and constantly refilling your hand and doing different things as well. So it is very, very powerful. So to go along with this, we have one of the new cards, which this is not the Avengers Advent. This is technically this card here, which is Pan's Heartfelt Support. So this is one of the new promo cards. So this card reads: activate main. If you have a Son Goku GT in play, plays a card from underneath a unison. So this is one of the cards we can tuck underneath our unison now. Activate main. If you have 3 or more energy and you switch this card to rest mode, add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand, and then choose one Son Goku or Trunks card in your battle area, and it gets 5k power for the turn. Now, 2 of this card seems pretty appropriate. The idea of this is that we have some Gokus and stuff that we can restand in the battle area. And we want to be able to give them, not restand them, but give them 5k for the turn, especially the one that has triple attack, because we can give that guy 5k for the turn. Also, this does allow the deck to get past something that was very important for the deck, because this deck actually awakens and goes down to 6. So being able to go from 6 to 4 with the Pan here by just taking 2 cards from your life, or just 1 card, so that way testing the opposition is live, is very powerful. So that is going to be the first promo card. Next we have the trio. This is the boss monster for the deck. It is a 30k deflect, play it for 3, spirit boost. You can neg your entire opponent's board, and then it gets triple attack, and then you can also tuck this back underneath your leader after you're done using it. So this is kind of one of your big pressure pieces. You basically wipe your entire opponent's board, swing 3 times. It's a lot of damage generally. It's really hard to deal with 3 30k triple attack swings plus all the other all the other aggressive cards you're gonna have coming at you. So this is a very powerful card and definitely works very well with the deck. It's obviously was designed for the deck. Next we have some of the 1-drops here. We have 4 Trunks Adventures Advent, and then 3 of the Goku correspondingly. The Goku searches that top 5 for a Saiyan or the Unison. And then you can also use the effect to tuck a card underneath the spaceship and give it a marker. And Trunks is a draw 1, then also you can tuck it underneath to gain a marker. So both of these are just very, very good 1-drops. Trunks, very important for a particular reason in this deck, which we'll go over a little bit later. Next we have the Gokus. So we have the 2-drop Goku. You can evolve or play it for 1. Puts a card from your drop area underneath your spaceship. Also negs something by 20k. And then you have the 15k crit that also draws you a card if you play it off of the evolve effect. Also the same thing, you can tuck a card, draw a card, things like that. So these are 2 of your your pressure pieces, probably turn 2 and turn 3 that you can play out. Very powerful cards. Definitely worth having as a 4 of. Next, we have Pan Soaring Through Space. This card's great. You play it from underneath your units for 2. It allows you to play 2 Goku and/or Trunks Vegeta, or Trunks GT, both red and 15k power or less from underneath the spaceship. So this if you play it for 2, then it gets played 2 battle cards from it. So the 15k here, and then these 2 are also playable off of it, but we do have some better cards that we'll actually end up going over a little bit later. We have some more Trunks cards here. So we have a 15k Trunks Barrier. This card's a 1-drop. You draw, and then it negs something by 10k. And we have Trunks Deluge of Power. So this is a card that's been, I want to say, popularized by the Sin aggro matchup that people have to deal with, which is essentially you're using this Trunks to bump up the 4-drop Sin, making it a 30k base, double strike crit, and they do a bunch of stuff, right? Not no more on the actual crit part of it, but this card is still very good. And the important part about this card is that it gives 5k for the turn. So you can actually combo this on top of the 30k here and make this a base 35k for the turn for the next 2 swings, while being a 40k swing for the first attack. Makes it even more difficult to deal with, right? This card's also searchable, which is good. So we don't mind having this card. And also, I believe when this card's comboed, it gives the effect. So essentially, you actually can combo this off, use the 4-drop to tuck underneath your leader, and then play it off of Pan, and then you can combo with it from there. So technically, you can recycle it that way. But this card is very powerful. I think 2 of it's quite good in this matchup, or in this deck. Then we have some of the other Trunks cards here. We have 2 Intensifying Power Trunks. It's another GT, but it also has crit, which is kind of matches the theme of the deck a little bit, just being aggro. We have some crit guys in there with Goku. Just having another 1-drop crit is very powerful. You also can evolve from the 4-drop here, or the Chain Attack Trunks here, which you can evolve for 2, which you get to play a battle card with 15k power or less from your hand, which the target is somewhere here. There it is. Okay, so it's going to be Zeno. So Zeno card, this is a combination, the Chain Attack Zeno combination has existed for a very long time in this game. If you guys don't know, you play Trunks, Zeno is played, basically wipes the entire board, ignores all skills. Both players shuffle back everything else, and I think you draw 5 cards, 3 cards, something like that. So that's kind of the combination of this, that you use these 2 to kind of clear, especially boards that have a lot of barrier. You can just play this and just remove everything. But the Chain Attack Trunks can evolve off of this guy, can evolve with this 1-drop, or this 1-drop as well. So you got a bunch of targets you can actually play with, kind of play around with. 3 Wolfang Fists. Since we have a Unison in play for the majority of the game, this card's going to be very powerful, negging something by 15k, ignoring barrier for free. And then difference of status is obviously kind of like the main defensive tool, with having a Spirit Boost effect where you can basically just neg anything into the ground. And you lose a few markers, but it doesn't really matter that much, to be completely honest with you. 1 Yamcha, since Yamcha has been limited to 1, is what it is, but we still can run 1 of them. Secret Rare of choice is going to be SS4 Vegito. Card's incredibly powerful. So mix of this and this, plus just some other swings on board, makes any red Saiyan deck just incredibly difficult to deal with. Once that turn comes around where they slam Vegito, you can probably just kill somebody from there if they're not if they're not prepared. But this is a good combination here. You have the Vegito and then the Goku here. It's quite a lot of damage to deal with. 2 of the new Gohan rares. So for 1, it's a Saiyan, so it's searchable, but also the Double Striker, which is very good. It can neg your opponent's entire board. It's just another good card to play. Technically, this is a 15k, so you actually can play this from underneath your leader off of the Pan, which is really cool. So and I believe it will actually get the effects of the negging, because you're just playing it, because the card says when it's played. So it will neg everything, and then if you choose more than 5 cards, it gets 10k and Double Strike for the turn. So that's pretty good, right? We do like that. For the Beer Super Combos, So the super combo people were generally playing was the Rejuvenate one, which is the Krillin. Now, Beerus obviously I don't believe was out yet, or maybe people weren't using Beerus. I can't remember at the time. But Beerus allows you to just grab the top card of your deck. If it's a red, you gain 5k combo, so it becomes a 10k. And every card in your deck is going to be red, so you're going to be able to hit it, which is good. Outside of the Zeno, which would suck. But and then we have this guy here. So this is actually not dependable brother Son Gohan. This is actually going to be the other promo, which is the Son Goku Pan and Trunks Journey to the Cosmos. This is a 15k deflect unique. When this card attacks, it gains 5k for the turn, and you choose one. You choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a 15k power or less and KO it. If this card is 20k, 25k power or more, it gains double strike for the turn. And if you have 4 or more energy, you may pay 2 to play the Trunks Galactic Explorer card from your hand on top of this card in active mode. And you can play this card for 1 if you have it underneath your unison, you have 2 or more energy. So, in combination with the Pan here, so the Pan can give this guy 5k, making it a 20k. And then you swing with it, and then it gains 5k, and then you can also then make it double strike for the turn. So, now, what I don't know, and I can't actually, this is something I thought about, and I haven't actually asked anybody about it. So, this card itself will have double strike. I believe when you evolve into the Galactic Explorers, it will lose double strike because it is a different card. Because it's not technically an evolved skill, which kind of sucks. But you can swing 25k with this guy, 25k double strike, pay 2. Actually, yeah, it actually might just negate the double strike. Oh yeah, you can't do that anyways because it's a different attack, so never mind. But yeah, so you can actually swing this guy for 25k double strike, or you can pay 2 and turn it into a 30k. And then when it's played, then you swing 30k once, and then you can Spirit Boost to give a triple attack, so you swing 3 more times. It's a lot of damage. It's quite a lot of damage. It's also just a good card just to play. It works well with every other card in your deck. It's searchable. This is technically a Trunks evolved target for chain attack. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of tools to it. This is a good card. I think we're running it as a 2 of right now in the deck, just for space purposes. And then the Z deck here. So we have 3 of the Rush Attack Vegeta, 1 Defender of Life, and then this is actually the new card, which is going to be the SS4 Son Goku Tearful Awakening. So this is the new Z Awaken Leader, which is for this deck. You become a 25, it's not 25, you become a 15k double striker that does the same thing on the front side, or as your other side, where you basically are drawing a card. You place 1 center underneath your unison, draw 2 cards, add a marker to your unison. But now you also gain another effect where you can remove this card from the game, choose your unison, and add a marker to it, and then it gains barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn. Essentially, meaning that your opponent cannot be targeted by Gohan. You can't be targeted by Gohan Rare. You also cannot be targeted by Smoke Dragon, because Smoke does not actually choose the unison ignoring barrier, it just chooses the unison. And giving it barrier means that the card's going to survive. So it's a very powerful effect. Definitely worth, you definitely are going to be playing this card if you're going to be playing Spaceship Goku. I think Spaceship Goku is really good. It is one of the few decks where it just gains value from having a unison in play. Any deck that free plays cards, whether it's a field or a battle card or a unison, that deck has residual benefits that other decks really don't have. So being able to play a unison like that and then have basically turn 0 have options of using Wolfang Fist or even Yamcha, or even Difference of Status is very powerful. So definitely something that has to be considered. Yeah, I think this deck is pretty powerful. I think, especially with the nerf to Sin, we still will be seeing a lot of Sin, but a deck like this is something that could potentially come up and be powerful. Yeah, I think this is definitely a deck that we can potentially see in the format, but we'll kind of have to see as things go on. Obviously, things might change in here. People might want to add different things, because like I didn't put testing the ops in here. I didn't put after image in here. Wasn't really relying on that stuff too much. But there's always things you can change. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, as always, make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.